Welcome back to Good Morning Football. We are here live in New York City. It is Friday, March 6th. I am Nate Burleson, Kyle Brandt to my left, and the great Kim Jones to my right. It is going down a Friday show. Kim, what's up?
This is a great week so far. We got a couple hours left. It's Friday, TGIF.
TGIF.
I absolutely love it.
In here, it's always Friday.
It does seem that way, and I love that about you guys.
Thank you.
And as you two know, we have talked all week about which teams pending free agent quarterback Tom Brady may be interested in, but which teams are really interested in Brady? With more, let's hear from our own Mike Giardi.
There is no free agent or potential free agent attracting quite as much attention and buzz as Tom Brady. But the question is, how many teams will really be involved? While there are as many as 12 teams that have reportedly been sniffing around and knocking on that door prior to the legal tampering period, I'm told to expect the number to actually be much smaller than that, in part because many of these teams don't necessarily want to turn over their entire franchise to a quarterback who will be 43 in August and has played in the same system for the last 20 years. And the other part of that is from Brady's needs. It's all about winning a championship for him. So you can talk about this large number of teams, but actually how many of those teams can deliver on that good and surround him with the talent to win another title?
Mike, thanks so much for that. Guys, has anything happened or anything we have discussed this week made you change your minds about the Tom Brady situation?
Tell us yes, Nate.
No.
Tell us yes.
No, I don't want to tell you yes.
Let's change something.
Because I don't believe it. I feel like everything that they're doing is kind of like a world tour to show Tom Brady's personality and also his comfort and peace that he's in a free agent situation. Because that's the big deal, right? It's the Patriots and Tom Brady have never been in this situation before. But I truly believe the best case for Tom Brady is to be in a Patriots uniform. Tom Brady wants another opportunity to win a Super Bowl. What is more fitting than to be with the team, the offense, and the coordinator and head coach that you love? You know, I brought this up before about a special advantage that Tom Brady has working within a playbook that he's been in almost 2 decades. When he goes to the sideline in the second quarter, right, and the game isn't going his way, he can look at his coordinator, Josh McDaniels, he can look at his head coach, Bill Belichick, and they can dive in their playbook, and they can look at plays not from last month, not from last year, not even from the last 10 years. They can go back almost 20 years and say, you know what, you remember back in 2004 when we ran that play up against the Giants. Yeah, we want to run that one. And they both know exactly what each other are talking about. The difficulty that young players have with new coaches is that when they get to the sideline in the same situation, the coach is like, all right, you remember the play we worked on yesterday at practice? That's the only one we can run because that's the only one that you know. So you're telling me Tom Brady is going to give up that type of comfort and control, that wealth of knowledge that he knows like the back of his hand, to what? Prove that he could play in a different jersey?
That's a lot, isn't it?
No. He's going to go back to where his bread is buttered and where he's beloved the most, and that is where his legacy is, in New England, in Foxborough next season.
I like when the people talk up Destination Inn by saying, you know, they have a beautiful facility. Think Tom Brady's going to alter his entire legacy for a nice training room? Doesn't that seem superficial?
He has his own facility.
Yeah, he literally has his own facility. And if we're asking, has anything changed our mind? It's March. Let's do like a little one shining moment montage.
What do you got?
Okay.
Let's cue the Luther. Okay, so breathless commentary about how San Francisco is interested, and people being like, you don't understand. This Niner thing, this is real. He's not going to the 49ers. It's not happening. I don't see John Lynch, Shanahan, et al. saying, well, we're at the Super Bowl with Jimmy G. Maybe he wasn't perfect, but we have a $100 million deal. Let's bring in Brady, who doesn't even necessarily fit our system. Let's just upend the whole thing. That's not happening. The Mike Vrabel video. Julian Edelman and Tom Brady show up front row at a basketball game. Mike Vrabel, who is a chop buster and a sort of a wise ass, and the reason we like him. You see your friends on TV, you FaceTime, you say, what are you guys doing there? It's just nonsense. It's fun. It's a thing you do with your friends. That means nothing. How about there was a reports that Brady talked to Belichick and it didn't go well? First of all, I don't imagine Bill Belichick is much of a phone guy, all right? I just don't see that happening. And who is? In this day, what phone call do you actually want to be on if that you're not texting or you're not emailing? I think there's nothing to that.
Who's getting that scoop, by the way?
I don't know. Someone listening in like in the 1920s in a van outside their room, right? On a stakeout?
Actually, that would be interesting.
That's huge, but it didn't happen. And so, Kim, I think this is interesting because you are an intrepid journalist at the table, and it seems to me for the last month or so that the bottom line on Brady stuff has been just tweet or say anything, and then people will forget about it when the news doesn't happen. Is there not any sort of accountability, any freezing cold takes for these people saying, like, I'd be shocked if he doesn't play somewhere else? He's not going to play somewhere else. I've said it from the get-go. Where do you come out?
And I agree with you guys. I have, this week, I've agreed. I think he's going to go back to the Patriots. The couple things that are most interesting to me about Brady is he has wanted, essentially, though, to be acknowledged that he's worthy, that he is their guy. And I do find that interesting because we think of Brady as almost robotic in the sense of he goes out there, he takes them to the cusp of the Super Bowl or the Super Bowl many years, and he wins. And yet there's still the human quality.
Why do you take that away? Why do you see that from him, that he wants to be acknowledged? I'm interested.
Well, I think that you see in the fun he had with the Super Bowl commercial where he was walking, it looked like out of Gillette Stadium for perhaps the last time, or checking out Gillette Stadium for perhaps the last time. Oh no, that was just a promo of Super Bowl commercial. Just having some fun with you there. Can he possibly leave his bromance with Edelman?
Yep.
I think that answer is clearly no.
Right.
So I do think that's the best place for him. I think he just wants to make sure he's wanted, especially by Bill Belichick. And I don't know that he'll actually hear those words. I don't know that he won't, but it would be a conversation you'd love to overhear.
You're right. Or sometimes you don't need to hear from Bill Belichick, you need to hear from Benjamin Franklin. He hasn't heard that either. I mean, do you think that money is really the thing? Because I've always thought he was still the second and third issue. I think he wants toys and weapons, and he wants to win.
And that's always been
him.
And
he can't win with Julian and friends.
Right.
I think we got to bring in some names here.
Right. I think Gronk's departure showed how much they need others to pick up the slack.
No doubt.
Gronk did an awful lot for that offense. I mean, I think we all understood that, but maybe we didn't know how much.
It's interesting, Nick, because you're kind of an agent of chaos sometimes. You like to see move. And yet you've been sitting here squatting on he's not leaving, he's not leaving. Aside from McDaniels and Belichick and all that, like, how are you so sure? Because it's not like you.
I'm very steadfast in my faith that he's going to return back to the New England Patriots. You know what, Kyle? Maybe it's just my hope. Maybe it's the football player in me, and I love guys mixing it up. I'm a new face, new place guy. I was a free agent twice. I played for 4 different teams. So I like when you can create a legacy somewhere else and put 10 toes down on a different turf. But I just kind of want our legends to remain. You know what I mean? Like I said, Jordan going to the Wizards, not that he wasn't great there, but I would have rather seen him retire as a
Killed me, dude.
Bull.
I hated it.
You know what I mean? So I want Brady to retire as a Patriot.
The storybook takes an awfully weird final turn
when
it doesn't finish out.
Yeah, especially when it doesn't work out.